And it's hot down there. I could test it. Been down to Denver twice today. First to get rebar and then to get form ties that I asked it yesterday, do we have enough form ties?
Yeah.
So I got the rebar back at like 3 o'clock. We're short form ties. But they'll push the mud off till 3 tomorrow. They'll finish that stem wall.
How many yards is that for?
On the footer, 8.5. I don't know how many, probably that much to begin tomorrow at least.
You're getting closer, Bob.
Yeah. Every little bit hurts.
You be ready for Christmas market?
Yeah, Dwayne, I've been waiting on Dwayne if we're not. We'll hopefully get started framing in probably about another week. We'll get the foundation wrapped up should get it wrapped up next week. And so we'll put down the ledger boards or the sill plates. Come in, start doing that.
Hello.
Good, how are you? Good.
What's your name?
Tom with the Denver fence guys, we built
Okay.
a fence.
Okay, cool. I thought you were gonna be on Zoom, but yeah, you're here.
I'm here.
Have a seat.
All right.
How's it going?
Good, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
We need one more. Two.
Need one more. Because you're stuck.
Well, I know Cindy's gonna be here. It's a talk to her. this morning.
Joe, pretty sure.
We talked to her.
Earlier, yeah. Sorry, is Rick in tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. I got this.
What are you guys named, Sean?
Email.
You want me to take it
down
Jay Pittman says hello.
Oh, okay.
I'm just at his house for a fence repair.
Do you want me to just take that down then? He's gonna be here tonight. too.
Oh, okay, I'll give it to him tonight.
That's one. Putting all the pictures and all that in the dumpsters. That's okay.
Dumpsters in town.
Yeah, a lot more dumpsters.
Let me tell you,
Do
do you need that right? That's a lot.
43 dumpsters. Oh, yeah, I couldn't actually about yours.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What's enough like a dumpster?
Okay.
Monday, I've heard that before.
Yeah, I know, he tells me that every week.
Which Monday?
A Monday. Well,
Robert's live as well.
Robert's.
Yeah.
The other thing is I do have a doctor's appointment.
Cynthia?
Every little bit helps.
You're gonna do it by yourself?
Yeah, how many floors left? Two?
I will be there.
One tomorrow.
Yes, that's why there's gonna be a little more.
Sometime next week.
How are you on budget?
I don't know, if I get another bill for that. I'm sure we're over budget.
There is a ton
on
of,
the budget.
That's, okay, we're on.
What is it?
Yeah,
it's all the dumpsters out of town.
Do we have an answer? Did you?
Yes,
Actually do that?
Look at this.
Oh, pictures. Sean, Sean has his dumpster report to add to it.
the dumpster king.
Well, somebody needs to be, in order to get anything changed,
Yeah.
that's what I
That's a
said.
lot.
Is the lumber in?
all but the 2x material. Story of the family got to the bottom of, where the hell is that 2x material that was supposed to be here a month ago? Long story short, they sold us what we asked for, you know, so many of this size, so many of that size, so many of that size. Turns out from their suppliers, they can only get full bunks, you know, basically full pallets or whatever you call them. So we're gonna wind up getting a lot more 2x material than what we paid for. I said, we'll take it, it's worth the wait, and it's supposed to arrive Monday. It's supposed to-
Mark will find a way to use it someplace.
Yeah, we'll find a way to use it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be where the cut stuff, but,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know how many 16 footers we want, we're probably gonna get a whole pallet full of 16 footers. Yeah. And then, we had some 2x8s and 2x6s in there, so I think I asked him to send me today when he begged if he could deliver, he was supposed to deliver it tomorrow. And he begged, can I deliver it Monday because we have a third problem? Yeah, I said, yeah, Monday morning's fine.
What happens when the concrete's done?
You start putting the structure.
Start framing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I keep saying to people, and I hope that I was correct, that we weren't messing with leveling the world.
The fast part will begin.
The fast part will begin, yes, yeah, because when it, and if you have, that's why I
And
started, if you
I-
have the materials.
The
This
way
is,
this
this
is, you came down and we walked around. He's gonna start hopefully sometime.
yeah, so that would be very, very cool, because it's, yeah.
The framing?
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
sort of like having building
My
blocks.
guess
I
is
mean,
Mike,
once you
we
start,
gotta
just
still
go.
get
Yeah.
the sill plates in. We got another pour next week, we're gonna have to go ahead and backfill, and we could probably borrow something from somebody. Pour done probably midweek. Get the plates in. My truck's not going down, I took my truck down the hill to get rebar, it took me an hour and a half to get up Floyd Hill because the truck is about on its last legs.
Uh-oh. It's not going
I
back
had
down
to
at
stop
all.
for 20 minutes,
Oh.
go 50 feet, stop for 20 minutes, go 50 feet. It's fine going downhill, it does downhill pretty well.
Well, that's the problem.
If you need to make another run, just grab that old white Dodge. It's a running full of that thing.
Okay, we're ready to start?
Yep.
Would you please call the roll?
Joan Egan.
Here.
Sean Flip. Here. Sydney Haley.
Here,
Betsy Blakesley. Mark Reynolds.
Here.
Bob Hamilton.
There,
Frank Danzer.
Okay, and can we get approval of the agenda, please?
well, we're adding, the chimney
Yeah.
thing that we have in front of us. And we should have a very brief discussion about what happened to our message to the planning commission, so that, remember last time we made a
Yes.
recommendation? So.
And Sean has his dumpster.
And
report.
Tom, yeah, and Sean
Mr.
has his
Dumpster.
dumpsters, Mr. Dumpster has his dumpster report. I think that's fabulous.
So too.
So I would make a motion that we approve the agenda with the additions.
Okay, can I hear a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against. Okay. You're on the agenda, correct?
Yes, sir.
No one needs business. And so, for who are you?
Tom with the general fence guys, we had a fence recently built over on, right down.
He's the second one.
Okay,
He's
so-
the second one
Who's
first,
second?
and she's on Zoom.
Oh, okay, sorry.
She's always,
Okay, so our first person is on with us, so we'll start there. So Kristen Gower.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, please state your name and your address.
Kristen Gower, 1551 Main Street, Georgetown, 804.
And describe your project briefly for us.
Describe the property or just the changes?
The project,
Sorry, the sound is not very good. Close my window. So you describe the current property or describe the changes that I want to do?
changes.
Your project.
Okay, okay, so you know, when you, I don't know if you drive down the road and you see that, you know, the house we painted black, and there's a little single stair, I think maybe 2 stair, and then a little landing to go into the front door, and it's got a banister around it. All we want to do is to close that off, so extend the roof out and put a wall up so we can use that landing, which is kind of redundant, as a bit of a mudroom or a ski storage, that kind of thing. So it's just closing in the banister that goes on the entryway landing, so it's a wall.
The plot plan you put in talked about a proposed deck extension.
No, that was the old, that we did a deck last year, if you remember, and we got it all approved and we did that big deck out the front. But when we did the site plans, we just used the same site plans. So this is no deck, no post. This is just putting a wall up on our landing.
Okay. Group 3, page 101. I felt that this was an addition. I mean, that's the only thing I could find that went in.
Like, I'm not sure, I mean, sorry, I don't know if you're talking to me or not. I'm not sure if it counts as an addition because there's no footprint to the property change. It's in that photograph, or I can, just where you step up to go into the front door, there's like a 8 foot by 3 foot kind of landing that you step on, or the bears step on, or whatever steps on. And we just want to put a wall up.
Right. Yes, I think that we understand that. I think from our vantage point, we need to address it with the guidelines that we have. And the only place it's such a small project in a way that the only place we can find that guidelines is, I'm not suggesting it is an addition, but it does add to a roof.
Mhm.
Way.
Yeah.
So on page 101, I had B, that the materials would be similar to that of the primary structure. Now, the wall you're putting up is going to match what you have, correct?
100%, same paint, same wood, everything.
Yes.
Are you putting any windows in the new wall?
Yes, so if you stand on our landing now, like you were going in the red door, for any of you who live up in that area, just to the right, there is a small window. We're going to put a matching window in the outside wall so that the light kind of comes from the outside into the entryway like it does at the moment. So
Okay.
the window will be the same size as the one that's there at the moment, just on the new wall.
Okay. And are you putting a door where the,
So
Will you-
the door that's there at the moment stays because it will be the doorway between the mudroom and the main house. And where the little 2 single steps are going up into the landing, we're going to put the door there.
okay, so you're adding a door or window? And extending the roof down to enclose that area.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to add a window if that's a problem. We can take it out. We just wanted to maintain the light coming into the house.
No, not a problem.
No.
What's your door gonna look like?
I'm going to move the one that's there right now, the red one. We're going to move that to the front so we can keep the same door. And then we're
Okay.
going to put an internal door on the inside.
There we go. Okay, so you're keeping the original door, you're just moving it. You're adding one new window. It's gonna match similar to the window that's in the wall now.
I mean, I don't know how original the door is, to be honest. I don't know when it was built, but the door that's there at the moment is going to be our outside door because I painted it red and I like the color.
Okay.
And the roof material on the extended roof matches the roof material that's up there.
Yeah. I mean, I think, to be honest, we're going to have to redo our roof in a couple of years. It looks pretty tatty, but yeah, we're going to use the same material for now.
Okay. On 101, I would say that we have section 2B. The materials are the same.
Yeah.
And 3 A, the roof addition, is in character with the whole thing.
Stipulations.
We ought to just note that they're using the existing, moving the existing. door.
Relocated to
Yeah.
the front.
Okay,
That way we don't have to do a door siding.
okay.
And that a matching window will be,
Added to the left side as you enter. To the right side.
Right
the
side.
right side as you enter.
I think those are the only two. And the roofing, well, we got the roofing too.
Yeah, we got the reference.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve the application to enclose the land and the notes in the sightings.
Is there a second?
I'll second it, Mark.
Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Against? All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sure this is not the forum, but if I guess a quick question, I need to now get the building permit. I don't resubmit that to you, right? I do that with Safe Build or something.
So Kristen, I can answer that. It's Jennifer. You can't see me right now, but I got your building permit application from your contractor. And so we received all that info, so I'll start that tomorrow for you.
Amazing. Then let me know if any questions then.
All right, great.
Okay, thanks very much. Have a good day. Okay, bye.
All right, can I go ahead and start?
Okay, next up is Chris Patton, 1414 Rose Street.
All right.
That's you. Okay. why don't you-
I'm not Chris, I'm Tom, with the Denver Fence guys. We're contractor out of Denver. And I already spoke briefly with Rick and Jennifer.
Mhm.
And we recently replaced the wooden fence for Chris Patton. And there are some issues with the gate that we built. It was cockeyed. I don't know if you guys have these pictures.
Let's start with the beginning. We're having a problem with the whole fence.
Okay.
The height, the
Okay.
style. Did you happen to look at the guidelines before you put it up?
I did not.
Okay. Have you ever put a fence up in Georgetown before?
We have not.
Okay.
So when we originally spoke with Chris, he mentioned dog privacy was good to go on the fence, and then we didn't need a permit for a 6-foot tall cedar privacy fence.
Unfortunately, we need a permit for everything.
Okay.
And let's start with the basics. What book are we in, Cindy?
We're in book 3 and we're on page 81.
Okay. Let's start that one. What is the height in front?
So if the front of his house is a 2-lot deal, so he's got the house lot and he's got the parking lot next to his house, which is a separate lot, is what he told me. That's where he parks his semi truck. He drives a wrecker. So we got 6 foot tall in the backyard and the secondary lot, and then everything else is behind the front fascia. It's all 6 foot tall around the perimeter.
Where's Rose Street?
Rose Street, I believe, is the north side of the house.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, that's where I thought Rose Street was. So the fence that is bordering, because this is the front of the house,
Okay,
yes?
I think it's the
Yeah,
jut out of the rectangle there.
You think this is the front of the house?
Well, the portion that goes north, so it's like a rectangle that way and then that way. So where the 6 foot section going off to the right of your pen there, that's the front fascia.
the thing is, Mark, 10 is, it's fence, so everything that's done in green is the fence.
Yes, I understand that, but I'm trying to find out where the front of the house is.
Yeah, where that fence comes off there, I think it's a 6 foot section.
Yeah, right there.
That's right.
Yeah. I think-
Yeah,
Because there's a storage shed that they have a piece of fence on, so that's house, this is house. So
Okay,
that's all house. And what
but
they-
this is the road,
That's correct.
okay.
So the 10-foot section is the front,
Yeah,
and the 3-foot section on the other side is the front.
Yep,
along with the 18-foot in the double gate.
yep.
That would all be considered the front.
Mhm.
And typically we would go like down to on the 50-foot side on where it's a parking lot. We go down to about where the house comes in. That would be considered front yard.
That's correct.
That wouldn't be the front facade, or the front facade of the house where it comes out, where the 10-foot is. That's all.
See, that's what he's
Indoor
claiming
structure.
is.
The front of the house faces the street.
Yes,
So where's the door? Is it on that?
Comes off that front piece there, that like rectangle deal.
Really, the front door is there?
That's where.
Yeah, the front door is here.
This is all front of the house right there.
Yeah, so
And those-
really,
That
there's,
picture where the garage is,
yeah,
that's where the long part is,
yeah.
long and it juts out.
I just couldn't never look at the door. So that is the front.
The problem is, this is too tall.
Yeah.
This is too tall. This is too tall, that's too tall.
Well, this shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's a good picture. That's too tall, that's too tall.
Yeah, I think you pointed to the same 4 places
Yeah.
that Mark just pointed to. And what the guidelines tell us is that a fence should be transparent, allowing views into the site, which is not what a solid fence does.
Is that in front of the front facade of the house?
It's,
or the-
in general, fences everywhere should be. A fence for screening an animal enclosure may reach heights of 5 or 6 feet. These should be located behind a building. Such enclosures will be considered on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
And that's the nature of the problem.
Mhm.
So I think the question I have is which front edge of the house? Are we counting this edge over here by the garage as the defining line of how far up the fence can go on either side? Or are we counting the part that sticks out where the actual front door is? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Well, and actually, even just if we if the fence stays the way that, the shape that it is, it just needs to come down on the front,
On the 10-foot side.
And be transparent.
yeah, and be,
But should it also, I guess right here doesn't matter, but on this side, the house,
should-
it should also be tapered down this way too.
well, not,
Because
Well,
it's,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
all front, all this part is. So
yeah,
it should be like starting with 4 feet or whatever it is, and then tapered up,
yeah.
like from this point tapered.
Yes, because your line, even if you're coming off of
Just the front edge of the
here,
house, so
doesn't
this
mean you
would
can
say
come
that
off there.
And
because
so
it
it's-
needs to be
technically-
sort of
all
appear to be
this.
the rear of the house. So yeah,
Should be lower.
gotta pull this
You can
back
see.
there.
This is similar to the problem we had on Main
I
Street.
thought something,
Yes, I know.
So,
watch what you ask for.
So, yeah, so on this side of the house, that would be, if that's north, that would be west side, on the 70-foot length there. Is that just yard
Yeah, it's a backyard, parked a semi truck back there.
on that side?
no,
Or on what side?
On the 70-foot side?
Yes, on the 70-foot side, we removed an existing 6-foot tall solid fence and replaced it with a 6-foot tall. That's like a backyard area.
Right, okay,
There's like a little growing area back here. And then he's got a bunch of trucks and
Yeah.
things on the,
70-foot side is fine.
yeah, well, it's this.
It's
So
the
I was
10-foot.
just wondering, so if this one has a 4-foot more transparent fence, we're not exposing, anything that we want a solid fence on anyway.
He's got a shed right in the middle.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Not our deal.
Right. And then over here, if he's parking a semi in there, do we want to see it?
We don't want anybody coming up to us and saying that they can put a 6-foot solid fence
Yeah.
along the street line.
Right.
Period.
You
I
have
don't
just.
care what's behind the fence.
You have
That's
to
not
go
our
by the
problem.
guidelines.
Okay,
Now, could they go to like a 4 foot with the lattice above it?
Well, if he went off of the,
We've never done that in the front.
we did that on Main
Yeah, we
Street,
did.
if he went off where the gate attaches to the building, if he went straight across there, that would be an analogous to what we did, because we consider that to be a side yard.
Yeah.
And he could go with a 6 foot,
Yeah,
as long as the top was transparent.
yeah,
But you have to go from there. You
Straight,
don't-
yeah.
Yeah, you can't go in
You
front.
cannot go up to the front.
do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do. In Denver, we consider the most forward part the facade, but it sounds like that might be different here.
Well, that, we are considering that, but this is even out further on the street, this little part over here.
That part is, so,
And it's all solid, so that's
so like where that gate is right here,
yeah,
the post right there is in line with the front facade.
yeah,
But all that would be considered front. And this is where our crews messed up, the customer, we had it, when we're doing the taper down a 4 foot around. When our crew showed up, he goes, I want 6 foot tall. And instead of saying no, they built it,
yeah,
which wasn't the plan.
right,
So on our end, we don't build 6 foot tall fences in front yards.
right,
Right.
Anywhere, in any town. I mean,
Because-
it's pretty cut and dry. But the customer talked the crews into doing that, which was insanity. But we considered that post to be in line with the front, and then we're gonna go 4 foot tall around there, back to where it meets up here.
There you go.
But ours doesn't say front facade. It says it should be located behind a building. Now, the building is here on this side. The building
Okay.
is here on that side.
Sure,
Because we have plenty of houses that do
Yeah.
this.
sure.
So if they could all pick where the front porch ended up, we'd end up with fences, you know, fences
Sure.
all over the place. So the guideline doesn't relate to the front facade, it
So,
relates to
but
the
that is
building.
the building is.
Yes, yeah,
not-
I'm, but on the other side, your building, that's where we're sort of sticking that line there, straight across from the building. And that's, you know, your 4 foot fence would come around that whole L,
Right,
that whole little section.
okay, so we're talking 4 feet over on the 10 foot side.
The front yard
4 foot,
is basically everything in front of it, to the front of the house.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
draw a line, you know, the house jogs, the yard jogs.
Then the yard jogs, yeah, because this says located behind. And we have been quite liberal in saying locating behind a building. I mean, actually, we could get to the fact that the behind means behind the back of the building.
sure,
yeah,
And we have not done that as a general
Right.
rule. We have said, okay, behind can start at
sure,
the front corners, but
right.
you can't let the one that's furthest front determine the whole
Right.
configuration of the
And
place.
Previous to our fence, there was a 6 footer all the way down to the street there.
Right, which should not.
And then he's
yeah.
got cars. You can see in this picture, there's a semi, he's got about 8 or 9 cars. All the way down on the street there, all the way to here.
okay, so I'm thinking from the corner of the house here, the gate, this whole little sticky out thing, and then up to where the front edge of the house comes across here, needs to be 4 feet.
Yes,
Okay.
and it needs to not.
And
be
it needs to not be solid, but with,
Have a little gap in between.
Space picket, yes.
Yes.
That's no problem. We can cut it down and just rip a picket off.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
we're trying to do is make it look like it's not a stockade. Right now, it looks like a
Sure.
stockade.
Yeah, trying to make it not look like it looks like there, which is a storage yard for
right,
commercial establishment.
yeah,
Sure, and that's what he's.
So the original concept was correct.
The front facade,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, the original concept of dipping the fence down to 4 feet.
You
I
guys like
mean,
that?
we would say that you had to do it even for the gate section, but yes, that,
So you say we could leave the gate and then
No.
step down?
no, the gate's gonna be
4
4 too.
feet all the
Okay.
way around that front little part,
Okay.
back to where it's even with the front edge of that side of the house.
And that
Yeah.
10 foot
And the
section.
same on the other
yes.
side, the
Yeah.
front edge, the 10-foot section needs to be 4 foot space.
And then would that remain 6 foot there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do that.
Clear as mud, huh?
What's that?
Clear as mud.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is, what they wanted, you know, a little different deal and then.
Do you need to come up and have Mark draw on there specifically, or do you know what we're talking about?
I got it in my brain, as long as
It's what you thought you should do in the first place, probably.
well, it's just different. In Denver, the way we would have built it, we would have been okay to go 6 feet tall to there.
Yeah.
And that's, most municipalities in the flat land, but then you gotta go step down to 4 foot past the front primary structure facing the street. That's pretty much the rule of thumb on the flat land. But like here is where they messed up in my mind, because it should have stepped down to 4 in that front jog.
Yeah.
And then in Denver, like this would be able to be 6 foot tall as well. On anything.
But you understand what we've said.
Yeah, so you guys want that to be 4 foot tall space picket?
Yeah.
You want this to be 4 foot tall space picket all the way to where it lines up there,
There you go.
There you go, you got it.
Yes, thanks.
which is not a problem, we can cut that down.
All right.
Okay, then our sightings are on page 81, section 2A. A fence should be simple in character. A1, the fence should be transparent, allowing views into a site. A2, a fence should not exceed 4 feet in height. A3, a fence for screening an animal enclosure or anything enclosure may reach the heights of 5 to 6. And A4, the gate material and design should be appropriate to the fence.
It'll be the same.
It'd be the same, okay. A B, the fence materials, appropriate fence materials include wood, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
And I would move to accept the application with the sightings noted. And we should put a note that the fence across the front yard cannot exceed 4 feet in height and should be a space picket, something to that effect.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. All right.
You are all set. Well, thank you for coming up and explaining.
By Chris's house. Cool, thanks guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all made up.
Yes.
Cool, take care.
All right.
Thank you. Did he leave his name too?
Yes, we have.
It's Tom, what's your last name?
Boline, Boline.
Thank you.
Cool, take
Thanks,
care.
Tom.
Nice if he's gonna come back. This is here, Jim. Uh-huh.
Was that approved? It was? Because it's not spaced.
The 4 foot section is.
It's 4 foot, but it's all touching.
The other side isn't either, yeah. But then the house, right, and then I was thinking about that, and then when you turn on to 7, then that little house right there, its fence has no spaces either. So maybe they looked at that and thought,
Well, that one was not even supposed to be that tall, was it? Are you talking about the one right by the creek?
yeah,
I know, I'm not sure what happened on that one either, that front fence that's 6 feet across the front.
I
Is
mean,
it 6
it's
feet
4
across the
feet in
front?
front, but there's no gap.
Yeah, I know,
It was supposed to be, whatever.
I do too, yes.
Maybe, I mean, Carrie Ann's, I mean, you guys building it right now, you know, it's
Yeah.
fine.
That's right.
They should gap at least the front.
Yes, we should definitely.
If we send them a note and say, need to gap the front, please.
Or on the side, I mean, it comes up
Yeah, the same
way
side.
past the edge of the house,
It does.
that whole
Well,
side.
if you got
is-
dogs, they want to see out. They don't want to be back.
It's a huge fence.
It is.
Yeah, along the sidewalk and
Yeah, I mean, the house
along
is-
the firehouse, we told them that was.
Do you want me to tell them that they need to remove?
Well, I think we need to check on what was approved here.
Yeah, and I wasn't here on that meeting. I know the one by the creek.
I can go grab, you want me to grab the file? Or,
Well, I think we,
I don't think I was here.
I think we do our agenda.
This page doing.
Yeah,
We
let's
do
go
our
ahead
agenda before.
And,
Just check out before we leave though.
okay,
Yeah,
all right, Alex Roth. Recuse myself, Wawa.
Are you doing that, Sean?
I'm doing that.
Okay, Sean can
Okay,
tell
why
us.
don't you tell us what's going on then?
did you recuse yourself, sir?
Yes, I gotta accuse myself. Sean Platt, representing Mark Stabrala. 1022 Middle Street. We would like to remove the asphalt siding off the house and install cement board or cement lap siding, hardy board siding. And then hardy board trim, corner trim. And around the windows and really just windows. A 4-inch trim on the corners, 4-inch trim around the windows.
And this, I would have it noted, is a contributing structure to the landmark district. Why can't I remember the man's name? It's because I'm getting not
It was,
remembering things. Who owned-
Edith Dick lived there.
Well, Edith Dick lived there for a long time, yes, but it was the original surveyor around here built that house in the late, in our historic period. God, his name's on half of the maps around.
Yeah. Now, we got to know that.
And I think that it's fabulous that this siding is coming off. I notice you have two west sides.
Do we consider the conditions of the existing improvements a health hazard? The asphalt shingles?
Do they contain asbestos? That would be my
No.
question.
This would actually be the east side.
Yes, I thought that might actually happen to be the east side, yes.
The other west side is the.
Yes,
east
the
side.
west side.
Yeah,
And
the
it
other
looks
side.
like there was an addition put on the back of this that has lap siding.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's lap, that's a wood lap,
Wood
That's
lap.
what that, but
yes.
it has a 6-inch exposure.
Yeah, but that was, who knows when put on.
Are you gonna redo that one?
We aren't.
Okay, so you're just doing
So
the
do we
old,
want to do a 6, can we do a 6-inch or we're gonna do a 5?
We're gonna do a 5, okay, because the house would not have started out with a 6-inch.
Do you know if there's asbestos at all?
I do not. All I know is it appears to be just asphalt. Shingle.
that was,
But this is one of those little hidden gem houses.
oh, yeah. They take good care of it.
Yes, yes, they have. Mr. Wallace been. Okay, I was on, what page? I need to lose my page. Yes, book two, page 96. Maybe page 96, Kenneth. No, that's chimney. Let's try Mark.
Oh, I will say, we're gonna try and keep the little gingerbread over the windows too.
Okay.
I had this. It was on materials. Page 81. A little time. Yeah, no building materials. Book 2, page 81. Actually, in the appropriate materials include horizontal lap siding, and this is a horizontal lap siding. Then there is D. B, lap dimensions of siding should be similar to B2. Lap dimensions of siding should be similar to those found traditionally, which are 4 to 5 inches of exposure. And D, newer synthetic materials may be considered if they appear similar in character and detailing to the traditional building materials.
What section is that, 5?
That's section 5
Thank you.
on new building materials.
Chapter 8.
And D2, the details of the siding should match that of traditional wood siding. And that would be your corner trim and your size of lap. And we don't do aluminum and vinyl.
Okay.
But I think it's quite,
I make a motion to accept the application as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Is that your chimney?
the chimney, okay, well,
Okay.
I don't, is anybody here to speak for the chimney?
No.
What happened is the chimney started to fall down
Mhm.
in the weather. They had not much choice about doing. This is also a contributing house. It's the house that the county owns. It has their financial office in it. It is on the corner between, what is that, 5th Street, 4th Street? 4th Street and Argentine, yes. And the chimney literally is falling down.
This is an amendment to their.
No, this is not an amendment.
Oh,
What
okay.
what Jen meant was she was amending our agenda, not that she,
okay.
not that this was an amendment.
So this
to-
is a pre-CLA condition or?
I just want, I didn't, can we amend the agenda to add this
Yeah.
project? Yeah.
No, but I mean, since they don't have CLA on this yet, we'll just.
Well,
Right,
we're
well,
for demo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what it's really for, is because the code requires them to come here for a demo permit.
Since it's a safety factor.
But they're also asking to rebuild it.
Oh, yeah, they have to.
And so,
But she didn't have any plans yet
Yeah.
for the new stuff.
They were just
So-
scrambling.
We're just considering, I guess, this the demo.
well, I would like to give them plans for the new stuff. Well, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
It's extremely straightforward, and it is what is referenced here. It's page 74, book 2. So, and it's B. Yes, you can demo it if the because it's falling down. But it does need to be replaced. Because it's not a chimney that's in use, so somebody might think, well, they don't even need to replace it. But no, it does need to be, the demolition permit is conditional on the fact that you are going to replace it. And then it should be replaced in accord to book 2, page 74, section B. And the shape should be the same, the bricklaying pattern should be the same, and the mortar should match that of the historic chimney. And if they can't figure that out, there are plenty of them around, and we've restored a couple of them. We've restored a couple of them on the K&A building just this year. I did send her, and she said, because it says plan to rebuild as soon as the mason is found. The mason who is working on the ice house is the one who did the chimneys, I believe, on K&A.
Yep.
And he's currently doing stuff in Idaho Springs
Oh,
and
is he?
still finishing stuff in the ice house. So It would seem to me he's the closest Mason around.
What was this? I got it.
Don Gilmore?
Oh, you already gave him the one.
Well, I sent her the name Don Gilmore, but I don't have his company name, so he might be impossible to find without his company name, Mark.
Do we have something?
I don't know. I could look
Because-
at the business licenses, I mean, look for his name.
Well, building restoration, except he's not building restoration specialties. You see, that's my problem, because that's the crowd that did the school.
I can go through my checkbook because I think I wrote the check. But anyway, I can text that to you.
Because I think it would be
Oh, it's-
nice to give the county a hand and say, hey, you know, this person is qualified to do this.
So I'm thinking that we should do this as approval with the following conditions, that
Yeah,
chimney may be removed but must be replaced, and then with
In
same.
accordance with these stipulations.
Okay.
Or with these. With page 74.
I think she had that on her thing, didn't she? Application.
she just said that they plan to rebuild it. But we're also, I would add one stipulation that isn't here, because they've said the shape and the brick laying pattern. We also want essentially the same color brick. We don't all of a sudden want a yellow chimney up there. Or something like that.
I just have Dawn Brick Restoration, but that's not the name of the company. Brick Restoration.
No, that's not the name of the company, but it has something to, it has the word restoration in it.
I'll dig through my stuff.
And I do think his name is Don Gilmore.
It is, yeah, I know that. But anyway. It's
And I
good.
think they'd like to get to it, so if,
Yeah.
Mark, if you could get back to Beth.
I wouldn't mind having his name too.
Okay,
He did a very nice job on the outside, because he did all of the, even when all that brick facade was falling off. I mean, those guys really did a nice job.
he did the arches and stuff on the depot building down there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice work.
yes, he does nice work. And building restoration specialties, her outfit does great work too, but you have to have, I mean, we were a small job, the school was. Only in their eyes, but, yeah. That's why we were pleased to find this guy.
Okay, do you have a motion?
Make a motion using the sightings and stipulations.
Second?
One second.
All in favor?
I,
Against? Okay.
briefly about the planning commission. The, you all received, I believe, the printout of the, our recommendation that we sent to the planning commission. And my understanding is that the planning commission will be discussing that recommendation as a first step on September 21st, which is the night before this meeting. But it's my feeling that it would be very helpful if one or two or three of us could manage to show up and be part of that discussion. What time do they meet? 6 o'clock? 7? 6?
September 21st.
December 21st. It's the day before our next meeting.
What's the project that you're talking about?
It is the area and bulk regulations for the
Yeah.
historic residential zone.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know, this would not be a public hearing, it's just discussion.
Yeah.
And then basically making sure that everyone's on the same page, and if we word anything differently. Once we're good and they are wanting to move for a recommendation, then we would schedule the hearing Because it would have to be a hearing to
Yeah,
amend code. And then once that, if they approve that, then it goes to the Board of Selectmen as a hearing as well.
but I think that, the reason for a couple of us to be there is we made a lot of suggestions. And there may be some questions about what we have in mind.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Clarity, yep.
And I would love it if we could tag Brent into that too, because he's.
Okay.
Question, just formality, when you have 3 of this group, is that a quorum?
For,
Does
Well,
that-
within, it requires notice and all that, I'll do that, yeah.
Just making sure that the public knows that you guys would be there.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get in trouble.
but it's a work session.
Yeah.
It's not a decision-making session.
Good. Sounds good.
All right. Dumpster report. Sean's been busy at it.
Well, I took pictures of all the dumpsters I found in town that were enclosed. There's, I think there was 36 dumpsters that have no enclosure at all. 6 that have 3-sided enclosures. And 1 that's not in an enclosure, but they have an enclosure.
They have an enclosure, but they're not using it.
Yes, it's full of other stuff, from what I can tell. So that's pretty much it. I took 2 pictures of Connex boxes. There's 2 Connex boxes by the Cabin Creek.
Oh, that's right.
They look like they're pretty permanent.
Yeah, we need to.
And then there's one behind Dwayne's house. That could be temporary, but it's been there for.
But does he have because we've made other people who have had storage units to get a temporary permit for having a storage unit. I mean, I remember that on Town Street with
Yeah.
County.
But then it ends up there forever,
Yes.
you know?
And we've had the temporary stuff being done at Mountain Mamas. We agreed to a temporary something for a while and yeah.
So I took 2 pictures of those. I don't know what the rules are on the Connex boxes, but.
But they certainly don't have a certificate of any kind.
The one that's what, 14th and is it Griffith? It's not Griffith or Taos. I think it is behind Wayne's house.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That one looks pretty shabby, but.
Yeah.
It's been there for a while, but that one could be temporary because he is gonna develop those lots. So I don't know.
What is the current law on, current ordinance on enclosing dumpsters?
I thought it was an ordinance.
I know we've been requiring it.
We do have an ordinance. I am not prepared to speak on it.
Yeah, you know.
I didn't memorize it.
Now you have to do your dumpster research.
So- Yes, I was gonna say, please.
There's one address like.
So I did, I dug up some stuff. Steve Robbie had flagged Bighorn Crossing Apartments and said, you guys have also tasked me to follow up on that. And so I've sent 3 emails, and the last one was last Friday. I was addressing the lights that are not dark sky, the dumpster that's in the front that's not enclosed, and then they have 2 other dumpsters that are only 3-sided. And then the other one was backflow prevention, but they've taken care of that. They've not responded at all about the other issues. So I told them, and I cited the code and highlighted areas where they were in violation. I still need to get clear. I didn't think we were supposed to allow front dumpsters.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's what I think, I think from Steve's comments, that's what he had written, but yet that's a front dumpster.
Yeah.
On their far end apartment.
What they're claiming is that they can't put it back there in the back because of the
Fire
hydrant. But talking to the fire chief, all you have to do is have enough room for a fire truck to pull up to it. So the dumpsters can be on either side of it.
Okay, so.
You just have to be spaced far enough that they can get a fire truck in there. Kelly can tell you how many feet.
Okay.
We talked to them.
What about the ones on like Clear Creek Drive? They're on the left side of the road, on the lake side, there's like 2 dumpsters over there. You might have taken pictures of it. But they're not enclosed, they're just dumpsters, they're small dumpsters.
You know, that's why I'm curious as to where do we stand? I don't expect you to answer that at this moment, you know, but I think that is the question. The question for us to find out is, what kind of handle do we have on this whole?
Well,
problem?
somebody else said that there's a grandfathering case too, of some were not permitted, they didn't have to, that's what I've been told.
Can you grandfather a dumpster?
I don't think you can, because they never
I
applied for
understand
it.
that grandfathering ability, but can you grandfather?
We've never had a,
Taos Corner or Taos Commons,
yeah,
there's a dumpster back there that we've had nothing but issues of bears getting into for weeks. They finally took the rollers off the bottom because it's so easy to knock over. The bar sometimes is put on, sometimes not, but that's been a constant chronic nuisance.
And one of the other problems, I don't know how many companies we have in town these days. I'm seeing a variety of
Yeah.
different trucks. I
there's
think
three for sure.
there's three, maybe four. One of the reasons, and the visitor center doesn't put their dumpster in their dumpster enclosure. And that may be the one we're talking about that is full of equipment of other kinds at this point. Timberline wouldn't take it out.
We take ours out at Clearfield Condos.
Well, that was interesting because they said, no, there wasn't enough room because of the parking lot for them to
Oh.
maneuver around and get the dumpster out. So it had to be left.
Yeah.
I think that's.
It had to be left out. And so I don't know whether we have, I don't know what the waste folks are willing to deal with either.
Well, they don't have it, I mean,
We have an issue, obviously.
Yeah. Yes, we do, and I will. Yeah, I'm looking at this, I've seen most of these there's a lot more that are not enclosed than I thought.
Yeah.
So I will do some research and I'll report back.
Does that, do you
That and the
have
comments.
addresses?
Say it again?
To the best of that I can do,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's got addresses on these, he wrote them.
There's two behind on Fifth Street that I don't know which buildings they're for, so I didn't have an address.
well, one's the Ram and one's the Masonics. And
Okay, then
Yeah.
that's probably
And
that one, and then the one next to that
There's
one.
one that's construction right now that says no food or something.
Yeah.
That
To
one's
the back
from,
side.
they're working on, leaches, I hope.
Well, I didn't count like.
Yeah, the
Roll-offs.
construction.
but there's a 6 yard right next to it.
Yeah.
We have a lot that are not
What if
enclosed.
we had, I don't even know
Family
how to,
Dollars,
how to
There's
go there,
sort of
but what if the
enclosure
town
neighborhoods
had
outside of it also.
big dumpsters, and nobody could have a private dumpster? You have to go use them in town, or, no?
Because everybody had to hold.
There is one.
There's one right behind town hall.
Yes.
Did you get our town hall? Oh, we're in violation.
Yes, you are.
It's not ours.
Oh, good.
The county says it.
I think what we have to do,
Oh, well,
county
the
buildings
public
are-
uses it too.
All right, well, I guess the thing what I'll do is, when I come back, when is the next meeting here?
This
26th.
Thursday.
I won't be-
I was telling her over there, and with my phone.
I'm not gonna be here, I'm gonna be in Atlanta. So, what I'll probably do is I'll do some research and I'll send it to you so that you would have what my report is for that meeting.
how about sometime in October, we just address it once everybody's,
Yes,
it doesn't have to be immediate.
Okay.
I mean, they're not gonna
It's
go
not
away.
gonna get fixed anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's what it's gonna come down to is the town's gonna have to have a new ordinance to cover this stuff.
Yeah.
Probably to
No,
address.
already, I thought we kind of did.
I think the bear one has helped.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
consistent throughout, but it has definitely helped. It's helped my yard enormously, so it's.
Well, this will be a great way for me to meet people, date some friends.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I think is going to be interesting, because that packet is sort of overwhelming.
Yeah.
And, you
That's a
know,
full-time job.
but for the selectmen to know
Yeah.
that, look, we've done some research and this is what's happening, it puts them,
Yeah.
it sort of puts them on notice that it's time to notice and do something.
Well, just to let you know, I'm gonna throw you all under the bus as I go and talk to them.
Yes, that
So,
works.
That's fine. We're
That'll be a great statement.
We're using
Hey,
it.
I've been texting, come talk to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Carry on.
So we didn't add it to the agenda, but I was gonna say, it drives me crazy now. Every time I drive around and I see all these shiny vents and things up on roofs. And a lot of them are new ones that have not been done that long, and they sat right here and said, oh, of course they will paint them and everything, and I may have to get my camera out to take pictures.
Well, you take pictures and we send them a letter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because then they come in to get another COA, and they did not do that on the last one. And I don't think they should be able to get another COA from us if they didn't follow the last one.
No. That's, oh, yeah.
Let's just check our list of shiny appurtenances. Let's see here.
But the connexes are becoming an issue.
Yeah.
So we need to address that.
Okay, we have minutes.
What Carrie Ann says, just out of
Oh, yeah.
curiosity, is that the privacy fence can be 6 foot on the north side, and which would be the one between them and the
Apartments.
and the apartments. And then there's a 4 foot fence on the west lot line. And that's the one up along Argentine. And it doesn't say anything about it being transparent. And then there is a 42-inch picket fence from the southwest corner, which would be out there, to the large boulder under the evergreen tree. That's like we're doing a mining claim that's 2 feet from the oak.
As long as that rock is still there.
But yeah, take down the evergreen
What's the
tree.
date
Where are
of
we?
those minutes? Can you tell me that?
I thought, Mark, I thought you told them even with the 6 foot, it needed to be.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it probably did. If you
Is there a
listen to the
picture?
recording.
Cindy, is there a picture on the back, the very last page?
That's the picket fence that's going along, should go along the 7th Street side.
In Argentine.
No.
Yeah, that's what I
just the
thought.
7th.
He said he
This-
would put that one.
What this says is that you can go for 4 feet, it doesn't say, but it says a privacy fence. You can go up to 4 feet on the west side, and the west side of that lot is along Argentine Street. So that could be a solid, but it would need to be 4 feet. So essentially, you'd see over it even, and the picket goes down 7th Street.
Which is interesting to me because nobody drives down that,
No.
but everyone drives past the first part.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I get, is it,
I think we were calling that the front of the house. Was the
yeah,
problem.
I think that's the issue, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Well, it
originally,
is in
when-
front of the house, their house faces 7th Street.
Yeah.
we considered it as a quarter lot.
oh, that's right, we talked about the corner lot.
But this shows on their plot plan that yes, I mean, that their house is here and is facing 8th Street, actually, it's not 7th, 8th Street. And so they get their 6 foot fence here and their 4 foot privacy here. But it says privacy, so that's why it's not picket. Is that 4 feet? Or is that, because to me, that fence stays this, I haven't looked at it that close.
No, I think it is.
It's 4 foot.
Yeah.
I was over there today. I saw it.
I know it's 4 foot out near the road.
It is
But
4
that's
I
foot.
here,
think
that's what
it-
they're
I think
saying.
it goes to 6 feet as it goes back.
The thing is,
Yeah.
if they,
No,
are they using Home Depot pickets? Can you tell?
It looks like
Here.
Oh,
They're
because I
gonna
see
shrink up
6
like
feet
a
at
bear,
this
so
corner.
they get.
Blood
One way or
clots.
another.
And it's Brownell Street, not.
I'm pretty sure- Since we went with the quarter lot.
I think it goes,
He told me
6 feet here.
Yes, it is.
And then it goes down.
That was verbal.
Right here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's
That's
on-
what I
it's on
was
the-
So
They definitely taper down somewhere around here.
I didn't get a chance to read the minutes.
No, I think it would be on the
It
tape.
does, it tapers down, it doesn't jump down. But I mean, it
Yeah, but
follows the
that's-
body
they're-
feature,
they're-
so.
Essentially following the plot plan that's attached to the COA.
Okay,
All right, well, Mark says their pickets will shrink, so,
there you go.
okay.
We will have gaps.
And has anybody had a chance to look at the minutes?
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I had one other question. Mike Huggins was gonna come back to us?
Yeah.
About Tower Street.
Mhm.
We're sitting on an application from him for that.
I did email him and ask him, and then there was a.
We tabled it.
I know, but we have only so many days to make a decision on things unless the applicant has agreed to the tabling.
I mean, I can reach out to him again tomorrow and see if he can come to the next meeting.
Yeah, we probably should, or else we just have to refile it.
Okay.
Yeah, or else somebody can go ahead if we haven't made a decision in 40 days. It's not that the application disappears, it's that they can go ahead as though we had said yes. That is the
Well,
Well, that's
difficulty.
not good.
Let's put him on the agenda for next time, and he either shows up, if he doesn't show up, then we'll.
We'll deny it.
Then you deny it because you
Yeah.
can always reactivate it. I mean,
Yeah, but he currently has a stop work order.
yes, well,
So
that,
there is a notice that's still up there.
yes, I understand that, but the law that governs us says that if we don't make a decision in 40 days, somebody can go ahead with their project or 45 days, but I'm,
Jen, let's just put him on the agenda for next time.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
And if they agree that we can table it, then
Mhm.
that doesn't apply.
Gotcha.
That's at least what Jerry told me a long time ago.
Right,
did anybody go up there and look at the flat surface up there?
Yes?
I did.
What do you think?
I'm,
Eh?
it's way better than it was. I think it would be. I think that could stay with the planter in the front.
Okay,
It's got the
well, the front, yeah,
steps and all that. It's
Yeah.
kind of good.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm the same, way. I think that the stuff that's behind the house and on the side, I mean, you don't see that. The whole entry portion there, the stone is, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay, we're all on the same page. Okay, minutes? Anybody see anything?
I didn't, but. Anybody got changes?
Nobody has anything, I'll move that the minutes are submitted.
I'll second it, Mark.
All vote. Yes. And that's adjourned.
We also, for the guys down there for Burton, we also tabled his freestanding sign. And that's what the minutes say. Mr. Hamilton made a motion to table the application for freestanding monument sign. So that is another one that I don't call him because he said, hey, okay, I'll take that off here at this point, but we should get it off the table. I mean, we can't let things just ride along as.
Well, was it
tabled.
tabled if he said he was gonna take it off? If he was gonna take it off the
Was
application?
it going back or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in some time, but there was gonna be no time, so I think that we have to, when we table something, we
Yeah.
should take some action on it.
For the
someplace.
next meeting.
So just put it back on so we can,
Okay, and don't contact him, you said?
I don't think we need to contact him, we're doing housekeeping.
Okay.
When he's ready to come back with his monument sign, he'll come back.
Okay.
What property was that? It must be gone.